Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is a pretty fun and forgiving game, even for beginner and casual players. However, there's still a few things that I found out way too late that I think would have made the beginning of my game a lot more enjoyable, and I want to share those tips with you today.
If you're like me and you find the blur around the edge of the screen annoying, you can turn this off by navigating to your weird pad by hitting escape or the plus button on your controller, clicking on options, selecting the second tab for graphics, and turning off depth of field. You can also turn off motion blur from the same screen, which many people find looks and feels a lot better on the eyes. From the first tab in the options menu, you can also adjust camera sensitivity, which may also make the viewing experience more comfortable. I like to turn this down myself to minimize motion sickness symptoms I sometimes get. You can also turn off the interface labels and graphic settings if you'd like an uncluttered view of gameplay or want to take a clean screenshot by toggling off adventure information display on the settings menu. In-game, you can also zoom your camera perspective in and out by pressing the down button on the D-pad or pressing N on the keyboard, but unfortunately there's no other camera adjustment possible at this time. I personally love the character voices that occur repeatedly when you perform a task, but I understand that not everyone does. So it's important to note you can turn down character voices from the options menu on your weird pad in the first tab titled Settings. It's the fifth option from the top that says Voice Volume. You can rearrange the icons on your weird pad to have the screens you access most often near the top. This is one thing that I wish I had learned earlier. Quests, inventory, and the skill tree are useful to have near the top. Just move your cursor over the icon you'd like to rearrange, hit Y on controller or C on keyboard and select the new location for the icon. As you're moving through the early game, I recommend grabbing everything that's sparkly. These resources will be beneficial for you and save you from spending too much money early on and help you to complete life quests and NPC quests. Some resources may not be a benefit to you until you unlock more lives, but there's no harm in picking them up for later. It's also nice to pick up a side mission from a random NPC and then realize that you already have the item in your inventory from all that foraging earlier. I would also highly recommend grabbing apples and palm fruit in the early game. You can also craft a bunch of boiled eggs once you unlock the cooking profession from chicken eggs found for free in the main village. These don't require much cooking skill to unlock and they give you a nice little boost. Fruit and eggs work in a pinch when you may not have had many potions or haven't yet unlocked the alchemist career track. Everything collectible respawns, including items and specific enemies in the early game, so if you need more of a particular item to level up, head somewhere else that requires a loading screen, then come back and enjoy a fresh supply of enemies or resources. This is helpful for leveling up your first life or gathering resources like copper to get from fledgling to apprentice. Once you open up the rest of the map from the tutorial area, you'll be doing a lot of fighting. I recommend getting at least one combat life and ideally one gathering life and one crafting life before you leave the tutorial. Otherwise, you'll be stuck fighting with a rented twig and buying a lot of things in the stores, burning through your money real fast. If you're like me and you don't love close combat, the Magician or Hunter lives may be good options as they allow you to stand back and pick off enemies from a distance. However, once your close combat lives like Mercenary or Paladin is leveled up to Apprentice, you can get through most enemies in the tutorial area without breaking a sweat and you get a much nicer weapon that makes things a lot easier. You can switch lives on the fly by hitting the right D-pad button or L on your keyboard. There's no need to navigate to a task in that life to switch, you can change at any time. If you switch out of a combat life to a crafting or gathering life, your most recent combat life will be automatically selected for you when you next encounter enemies. As you complete missions for each life, you can fast travel to your life master directly from the life menu to level up and collect rewards. There's no need to walk there manually. To do so, from the life menu, select the life you want, hit Y on controller or C on keyboard and select Travel to Life Master and you'll be on your way. You can also fast travel to the nearest workbench by clicking on each life from the life menu or by selecting and hitting confirm on controller. A dialog will appear asking if you want to travel to the nearest workbench. Select yes and you will be automatically transported there. From any workbench, you can craft any item from any life you have unlocked. No need to travel to the specific guild. If you're using controller, you can navigate between crafting stations in the minigames using the D-pad rather than the left stick. For me, I found this helpful, as with the stick I was overshooting and had to correct more often than with the D-pad, and this costs precious time and makes it more likely to hit an incorrect button. Also in the crafting station, your next action is always listed in sequence up at the top of the screen, so you can predict what's up next and move proactively rather than reacting to the button prompt on screen. It still took me a while to get used to what each each icon means, but this helped me to be faster and more efficient with my crafting. When choosing recipes in the early game, be sure to check the recommended level at the top of the recipe before attempting it. Your current level for each life is listed up at the top of the screen, and if you select something that is too far above your current level, you're more likely to fail that task and waste time and materials. To make sure you don't get stuck in battle, assign potions and snacks right away. Navigate to the item screen from your weird pad, head to consumables, and click on the item in question. Dialog will come up, select Register to Bag. Now you can quickly pull up a quick menu in battle by hitting left trigger on controller or X on keyboard. If you do get caught unprepared without something in your quick menu, you can always pause and consume a potion or food by pausing the game using escape or the plus button, opening up your weird pad and navigating to items where you can click and eat whatever you'd like, which is more steps but will save you in a tough situation if there's nothing useful in your quick menu. Every time you level up, go to the skill board in your weird pad and see what abilities you can unlock. Otherwise, you'll be kicking yourself later for running around underpowered with the stash of skill points you could have used earlier. The game doesn't really remind you to do this early on, so don't miss out. I found this out way too late. In the gathering classes, it's advantageous to unlock the sweet spot finder and charged attack early on to make collecting resources much more efficient. The sweet spot finder will give you a question mark, 3 dots, or an exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is the weak spot or the sweet spot. The 3 dots means you're directly opposite of the sweet spot, and the question mark means you're 90 degrees away from the sweet spot. Once you find the sweet spot, use regular hits until you get the resources health bar down as low as you can. Then use your charged attack to increase your chance of an excellent hit, which gives you additional loot and resources. The location of enemies and resources required for each life leveling mission in the early game can mostly be indicated on the map. This is great early on for leveling up from fledgling to apprentice efficiently. For example, with the mercenary missions, I had a hard time remembering where the dark and white woolies were. To mark a quest item on the map, head to the quest menu, click on the quest you'd like to complete, then hit spacebar on keyboard or A on controller to set it as your next destination. The resource or enemy you need to complete the quest will be marked on your map as an orange arrow and will show up on your mini-map. Every time you level up, you get new equipment, but these items won't be equipped automatically. You may also end up with items such as charms equipped on one life but not another, resulting in you missing out on benefits. Head to the equipment screen from your weird pad. You can click on the item slot and select items individually to equip. There's also an auto-equip feature that automatically puts the best items in each category on your character. To access this from the equipment screen, you can hit Control on keyboard or the minus button on controller to auto-equip the best item in your inventory in terms of damage and defense. Keep in mind that this may not always pick the best item in terms of special abilities, but it can be a good starting point. You can also click on items such as the flutter charm that you want active on all lives, hit C on the keyboard or Y on controller and select equip to all lives to ensure you always have it on and don't miss out on any benefits regardless of the life you're using at the time. We all want great stats, but sometimes those items don't always look the prettiest. Or you want the benefits of a helmet, but you want your gorgeous hair and face visible. One way to get around this is to make use of the outfit feature in this game. After you've equipped all the best items in your inventory from the equipment page, navigate to the screen marked outfits on your weird pad. This page gives you the ability to equip an outfit that is strictly cosmetic, just for looks. So you still have all your weapons and armor on from your equipment page, but look cute on the surface by modifying things on your outfit page. This is where you can put on a particular pair of boots or another accessory you find in your travels without losing the benefits of your weapons, armor, and clothing. One thing I always like to do in RPGs because I'm vain is remove my helmet, and I'm happy Fantasy Life gives us the opportunity to do this without losing the benefits of our equipment. To remove your helmet in all lives, select the invisible helmet from one life, bring up the menu, and choose the Equip to All Lives option. Now your character will keep the benefits of the helmet you equipped on the equipment page, but they'll have their nice face and cute hair visible. You can also save preset outfits if you'd like to switch things up on the regular based on mood or color themes, and it's honestly such a great feature that's included in this game.